अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मुझसे अक्सर लोग पूछते हैं कि विद द एडवेंट ऑफ एआई व्हाट्स गोइंग टू हैपन टू आवर करियर्स एंड हाउ डू वी नीड टू प्लान आवर फ्यूचर करियर्स। तो यार फ्रैंकली बात यह है दैट दिस इज़ अबाउट टू हिट मैनी ऑफ अस वेरी हार्ड इन अ वैरायटी ऑफ वेज। आप किसी भी सेक्टर में हो, किसी भी प्रोफेशन में हो, most sectors and most professions are going to be hit very hard. The way I talk about it is, it's almost like आप बेहतरीन घुड़सवार हैं and you have learned to operate at 10 miles per hour and आप बहुत खूबसूरती से बेहतरीन तरीके से अपना घोड़ा चलाते हैं and लोगों को पॉइंट ए टू पॉइंट बी पहुंचाते हैं। पहले कार इंजन आया और अब जहाज भी आ गया है। So essentially no one expects you now to operate at 10 miles per hour. Each one of us is expected to operate at 1,000 miles per hour, irrespective of which professions we're working in, which functions we're working in. So I've been training corporate professionals across the corporate sector in the region for the last 1 year, having engaged and supported over 20 plus blue chip organizations across the region. And one thing is common. People are still caught up in their day-to-day grind and they're not waking up to the possibility of what is about to hit them. मेरे अपने immediate circles में I've had at least 5 people, if not more, across Pakistan and the Middle East and North America who have been adversely impacted due to AI-related layoffs. And it's only getting started. I'm following the space very clearly. This is something I do for a living. So day in, day out, you're monitoring the space. You're seeing how quickly things are evolving. Trust me, this is about to hit you, if not today, so in the next couple of years. A cliched sentence, but I think this is very true as well. It's not agentic AI or AI agents which will replace you straight away. What's going to happen is कि जो लोग AI use कर रहे हैं and who are AI enabled in their respective domains, they will very easily replace people because as your leadership teams realize the productivity boost that you get once you're AI enabled, एक बंदा 3 लोगों का, 5 लोगों का, 10 लोगों का काम कर देता है. So why would someone want someone who's operating at the traditional pace? मेरी आप सबसे request ये है, please start looking into the space immediately. The only way to learn is by experimenting on a daily basis. Obviously, you can do certain courses, you can do certain training modules, etc., but that will only go so far. The real training will only happen if you experiment with AI on a daily basis. All the CEOs from the leading tech companies in the world are pointing out one thing. Aane wala waqt is going to be all about agility, all about the ability to learn, unlearn, relearn, time and again. वो जो एक वक्त था ना जहाँ पे हम एक स्किल सीखते थे, you would sort of get a degree and you would think that you will milk it for the next 20 years. So wake up call for you, that time is gone. आप चाहे फाइनेंस डोमेन में हो, मार्केटिंग, सेल्स, सप्लाई चेन, HR, किसी भी डोमेन में हो, and of course in the IT domain itself as well, जो कि सबसे पहले इम्पैक्ट हुई है, it will be impacted, mark my words, guaranteed. Now the thing that people ask me is कि हम शुरू कहाँ से करें? तो I think इतना मुश्किल नहीं है. It's just one of those things you've got to get past the initial adoption barriers. कुछ बेसिक चीज़ों से शुरू करें. Start with the 101s. All your usual platforms like your Googles, your Microsoft, OpenAI, Claude, यानी Anthropic, इन सब पे basic courses available हैं. Or enroll on a physical course if you want to. And get past the initial adoption barrier, then there's no stopping you. जब ये एक दफ़ा momentum चलने लगेगा, then you don't need a constant push. It sort of becomes second nature to you because there is so much exciting stuff happening on a weekly basis, if not daily basis, कि आप कहीं ना कहीं उसके साथ खेलेंगे, उसको अप्लाई करेंगे, उससे सीखेंगे, and then you will want to apply the next thing as well. Organizations and individuals, दोनों से मैं एक ही चीज़ कहना चाहूँगा, you're risking becoming irrelevant in the coming age if you don't start adopting AI now. And it has got to be done in the right way as well. So responsible AI adoption is really, really important. लोग opportunities की बात करते हैं, but enough people are not talking about the risks of AI. The way I look at it is AI is like the invention of fire, for example, right? बहुत ज़्यादा beneficial है, but हाथ लगाएंगे तो जला भी सकती है, बल्कि जलाएगी. अब आपके ऊपर है कि whether you learn from the mistakes of others या आप खुद हाथ डालेंगे आग में और खुद सीखेंगे जलने के बाद. So AI comes with massive risks for individuals, organizations and society at large. तो हम बात करते रहेंगे आने वाले वक्तों में AI की रिस्क से. Let's start off with some of the most common ones. Over reliance on AI. देखिए आपका दिमाग एक मसल है. किसी भी मसल को अगर आप यूज नहीं करते तो माउफ हो जाता है. It loses its functioning ability, it loses its strength. Same applies to your mind as well. And as humans, trust me, what sets us apart is our ability to do critical thinking. That's what gives us the edge. If you lose that, you lose everything. And then I wouldn't blame anyone if AI actually replaces you, right? So मेरी request ये होगी that use AI as an augmenter, as an enabler, as a helper. Do not let it replace you. Look at it as if you've been given a team of people working for you on helping perform certain tasks which you were doing yourself. लेकिन then you take yourself to the next level. आप focus करें उसके बाद की value addition पे. That's where AI would actually enable you to go ahead in your careers and it'll be a massive booster for you. MIT ने एक रिसर्च की थी, आप में से कुछ लोगों के सामने से गुजरी होगी. A group of Ivy League graduates were given a very heavy dosage of AI and then AI was taken away from them. And their output levels went down to high school graduates or below in standard tasks. Naturally, because our mind is a muscle, if you stop using it, it will stop functioning properly. ये तो बात हो गई over reliance की. इसके बाद हम बात करते हैं next risk की. So sensitive data exposure. I think this is a massive issue that we need to think about at an individual level as well. लोग अपनी personal बहुत sensitive information, अपनी family के बारे में बहुत sensitive information AI पे डालते हैं process करने के लिए, उससे मुख्तलिफ किस्म की advice मांगने के लिए. इसी तरह organizational level पे भी I think this is a massive issue. And जैसे जैसे पाकिस्तान में AI adoption बढ़ेगी, ये momentum बढ़ेगा, we are bound to see a lot of blunders on this front. And लोगों की अपनी reputation, organizations की reputation can be adversely impacted significantly. So I think it's very, very important to understand that you have to be sensible in terms of what data you upload and where you upload it. Not all models are the same. In fact, एक platform पे एक model के अंदर ही, for example, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, etc. में free versus enterprise लाइसेंसेस के ऊपर जो आपको डेटा सिक्योरिटी मिलती है उसमें फ़र्क होता है. ये आइडेंटिफाई करने की कोशिश करें कि what sort of data can be shared with AI models and what must not be shared. Obviously, there's a whole then different journey that can be adopted, which is about local deployment, local LLMs, etc. But then that comes a bit further along the journey. State-owned entities and your telcos, etc. are already coming under certain regulations where they already have to look out for local solutions. But then हम में से जो बाकी लोग हैं, I think to a certain extent, we can rely on the data compliance, data security, international standards being offered by various platforms such as SOC 2 compliance, GDPR compliance, ISO 27001, etc., etc., right? तो जिस तरह हम अपना data SAP cloud में या वन ड्राइव पे बैकअप करवाने में कुछ हद तक राजी होते हैं, उसका रीजन होता है उस वेंडर की अपनी क्रेडिबिलिटी and the protocols, the data security protocols that they are complying with. Same is the case with AI as well. It's not a case of avoiding AI, it's a case of adopting it in a sensible, responsible manner. आप में से जिन लोगों ने risk management framework पढ़ा है, you would know that you deal with risk in a variety of ways, such as accepting it as is and not doing anything about it. That's obviously not an option when it comes to AI adoption, given the massive risks involved. Then there's another option which is about avoiding it altogether. Again, that's not an option because you risk being left behind altogether. You risk becoming irrelevant, right? So adopt to karna hai. Then there's the whole risk transfer side of things. For example, insurance. Kahin na kahin that might become relevant as well when it comes to AI usage and risk management. But I think the foremost thing has got to be risk mitigation. So think about putting the policies in place, about spreading risk awareness in your teams and organizations, about being sensible yourself, thinking about which model to use, what licenses to use, and even then what data can be uploaded in the cloud and what cannot. You've got to be particularly sensitive about regulatory information, legal information, similarly consumer information, consumer data, health data for that matter, if you're a listed organization, your own financial data before it goes public, etc., etc., right? AI risks की जब बात हो, so how is it possible that you don't talk about hallucinations? Hallucinations is when AI makes things up. AI risks की जब हम बात करते हैं, तो I think it's very important to cover the hallucinations and the incorrect outputs risk as well. So hallucinations is when AI makes things up. याद रखिएगा ये उसकी फितरत में शामिल है कि होशियार बन के it will always come up with an answer even if it doesn't have the right answer and doesn't have the right knowledge about that particular task. इसके कुछ तरीके हैं to avoid it and to mitigate this. But पहले आपको एक एग्जाम्पल से दिखाता हूँ. एक कंपनी में मैंने ट्रेनिंग करवाई एंड वहाँ के जो हेड ऑफ शरिया कंप्लायंस थे, he shared this with me after the training session saying कि आप देखें AI किस किस्म की हरकतें कर रहा है. I hope this helps you understand the potential risks.
जी मुझे ये बताइए कि अगर ये ईद उल फितर और ईद उल अजहा मुसलमानों के लिए एक ही दिन में जमा हो जाएं, तो इनमें से पहले किसकी नमाज अदा की जाएगी?
इस सूरत में आमतौर पर ईद उल फितर की नमाज पहले अदा की जाती है, फिर उसके बाद ईद उल अजहा की नमाज पढ़ी जाती है.
अच्छा, ये मुझे बताएंगे कि ऐसा कभी हिस्ट्री में कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि ये दोनों दिन एक साथ जमा हुए हैं और पहले ईद उल फितर की नमाज पढ़ी गई हो?
इस तरह की सूरत हाल तारीख में कभी कभार पेश आ चुकी है.
So that is what I wanted to explain to you. I hope ये देख के आपको अगर पहले यकीन नहीं था तो अब यकीन आ गया होगा. AI makes things up जहाँ उसको नहीं पता होता है. As a result of that, आपके जो पर्सनल आउटपुट्स हैं, आपके जो कॉर्पोरेट आउटपुट्स हैं, लाइक योर रिजल्ट्स इन अ बिजनेस एनवायरनमेंट, यू नीड टू ऑलवेज वैलिडेट देम. उसकी assumptions चेक करें, make sure you're using the right model. You can check your results versus different models. इसके मुख्तलिफ solutions हैं. Check out something called Fiesta AI, जो एक ही सवाल को multiple LLM से पूछता है. Check out something called LLM Council within Perplexity, right? वो एक ही problem को multiple LLM models से बहस करवा के उसका निचोड़ आपके सामने लेके आता है. It gets them to debate and comes out with the right bit from that. This helps to cut down hallucination. Similarly, you need to know which models are better in terms of accuracy. Similarly, you need to know what tools that you can use. For example, deep research within your LLM models, right? Deep research का option क्या आपने explore किया है? It helps to cut down hallucination to under 5%. Do you know about Perplexity for that matter, which is one of the best known AI models for research and search? That was one of the main reasons जिसकी वजह से Google से search volumes were coming down after 2 decades of increasing or staying flat. So please try and get ahead of the curve before AI comes back to bite you very hard, right? Let's adopt AI, but in a sensible, responsible manner, and let's spread this risk awareness across our organizations.